Hi, everyone. I don't know if you saw my post in the Bootcamp group right now, but I am currently in my best friend's basement. She lives in Boston and she just had a baby. So I am here on baby duty and stepping away to see all of you lovely women for our closing session tonight. How have the bonus sessions been? What have you all been doing the past few days? Tell me what you've been implementing from this boot camp. Yay for babies and yay for Boston in the fall. Oh my gosh, it's been beautiful. We went for a walk today. I felt like I was in a Nicholas Sparks novel or something. I am so glad that some of you are joining the Speaker Sister community so we can continue our journey. And I'm so glad it's been amazing despite all of the outages that have happened with basically every piece of software we use to run our business. So when my team and I, we do like a debrief each day after boot camp. And we also said, we were like, man, everyone has been so nice too. We just have really appreciated how understanding you all have been with all of it. And wonderful. Okay. Been in mic drop workshop for the past few days and loving it. That is so great. I sent emails to try to get 3 speaking gigs first call on Thursday. That is amazing. I love it. Man, you all are just really pumping me up. So tonight, what I want to do is give you all just some parting words, if you will. Cue closing time. Some parting advice of like actions that I think would be really important. The last thing I want you to do is go to this boot camp and walk away with a 4-page to-do list that you never get done. I want you to walk away with like actions that you can take, which so many of you have already been taking, which is fantastic. But I just want to give you some quick actions that you can start to take to start your speaking career. Okay. So we're going to go through 10 things, and then I'll also just be answering questions along the way. So feel free to put them in the chat. I'll also answer questions about Mic Drop Workshop or anything that you have around that towards the end, but feel free to put them in the chat now. Okay, so a lot of you have already done this, and I want you to tell me whenever I say something to do, if you've done it, put it in the chat. Changing your socials to include the word speaker. I want to go ahead and give some love to some boot campers who have already done this. We have Star, and look at that stellar speaking photo. Look at you, Star, crushing it. We have Amy, who has already updated her LinkedIn, and I see that you put communicate to connect, speaker, communicate to connect. I love it. We have Vicky that has updated her LinkedIn to include speaker and her mission statement right here. And then we have Brittany, who has updated her LinkedIn, authentic leadership expert and speaker, helping people become more effective leaders by embracing our authenticity. Absolutely crushing it. So who here has already done this? We have Jen, LinkedIn, Allie, absolutely. So this should be your low-hanging fruit of just updating your LinkedIn or any social to include the word speaker. The next thing that I want you to do is changing your header to be a picture of you speaking or your mission statement. So we have a boot camper right here. This is a fantastic photo. I love also like the orange in the background. This is great. Look at your logos right here. So what if you don't have a picture like Melissa has of her speaking? Totally fine. Instead, what I want you to do is have your mission statement right here. Let me get my little cursor. You can use Canva, which is like a great tool to create like a LinkedIn header that has like, I help people blank, or I speak to audiences about blank. But what we're trying to achieve here with these first 2 tasks is just giving people the immediate impression that you speak, because people can't book you to speak if they don't know that you are a speaker. I wonder if any of you have added that you're a speaker, and if you've already started any conversations, or has anyone reached out to you or congratulated you. Is it has anyone said anything just from the fact of saying that you are a speaker? What? Someone got a gig? That is awesome. That is amazing. And it doesn't matter that it's not paid much. The fact that you got a gig just from saying that you're a speaker is incredible. Let's hit this for a second. I feel like an imposter because I don't have a speech yet. You're listen, like think about your favorite podcast. Think about it right now. What's the podcast that you listen to all the time? They once Googled how to start a podcast, and they had to call themselves a podcaster before they started. And so I wouldn't say you don't have to tell people I'm an in-demand, world-class, like Forbes top-rated speaker, but you are in by attending this boot camp, by doing this work, by building a keynote, you are a speaker. And so I wouldn't say that you have to get a gig. It's like what comes first, the chicken or the egg? You have to start claiming you're a speaker in order to get speaking spots. Oh, my husband is really proud. I love that. That is great. VIP, I believe so, but Kelsey, you can maybe put it in the chat if you about the replays there. Okay, so the next thing that I want you to do, and this also goes to like the someone saying like, well, what if I haven't spoken yet? Start getting footage. And footage doesn't necessarily have to mean speaking. You can go on podcasts and film yourself. I bet there are people in this chat right now that have a podcast. Let me know. I know there are tons of people in the Speaker Sister community that have podcasts. And so even just going on podcasts and having some sort of virtual footage is a great way to start getting footage. You can speak for free. Precious says that she has a $200 gig, which is amazing. We have a lot of people that have podcasts. Reaching out to a school, a local library, a co-working space and saying, hey, this is what I speak on. Would love to do a free lunch and learn in exchange for some footage, or bring your own videographer. Or one of my favorites, host your own event, even if it's virtual. Just do your own thing. There are so many people, like we have someone in the Speaker Sister community, Kara Truitt, who wanted to give a TED talk, and so she started her own TEDx. And now she's like a really big notable person in the TEDx community because she created her own event. And so maybe it's a virtual event, maybe it's local, maybe it's 20 people, maybe it's 10, but you could even host your own event to start getting reps and footage. Why do I care about getting footage? Because you on camera brings your stage presence and your style to events quicker. It's really hard to type or write about what you're like on stage. They have to see it. But that can be in a room like this. That can be in your office. That can be anywhere. I just want you to start getting on camera, to start showing what your personality is like. And it doesn't have to be like, again, Steven Spielberg quality. The next thing that I want you to do is I want you to start getting repetition of you speaking, even if it's for free. Put in the chat, when was the last time you spoke and what was it for? Even if it has nothing to do with speaking that you're doing. Jen, Facebook Live. Gigi, if you could do an open mic night, heck yes, that is amazing. That is like way scarier to me than like speaking to an auditorium of people. A podcast, June, for your artist talk. I do Facebook Live often. I taught screenwriting classes, Instagram Live, spoke at a confidence workshop, mastermind MC. There is speaking opportunities that are all around us, even if they are not delivering our keynote. What I would challenge all of you to do is say yes to any opportunity that you get, even if it's virtual, even if it's free, as long as you're not like having to pay or put yourself out there for it. And then put your phone up, put it on a tripod. Just our phone cameras are so good these days. Just start getting the repetition. And then while you're getting the repetition, get your footage. Oh my gosh, Lulu, you did the moth. That is like my favorite favorite thing to listen to. You'll have to send me your story. I want to do it. And Laura, look at you hosting your own event. That's awesome. Okay, so start getting speaking reps, even if it's for free. The fifth thing I want you to do is start doing some of the things we talked about last week on day 5 around building your platform around your mission statement. So we're changing our bios to include speaker or your mission statement, creating a freebie to collect emails. Let's pause on this for a second because we didn't talk much about this. This is also creating a freebies in Platformula. But what I mean by that is if you've ever signed up for something for free in exchange for giving your email, and now they have your email. Because what I want you to do is I want you to start building an audience and building a network that is interested in what you speak on. So then maybe one of them knows of a speaking gig, but also maybe you launch a book next year and all of a sudden you're like, who am I going to sell my book to? And now you're like, oh, well, I have 300 people on my email list that have all signed up for this freebie around this topic that I'm speaking on. So creating a freebie for your email list, just even pinning it to the link in your bio is great. And then when you're on stage, if you do get a talk, a great freebie that you can offer is giving people your slides. That works so well. Whenever I talk, I say, scan this QR code and I'm going to give you the slides so you don't have to worry about taking notes. So when you're speaking, and I give you step-by-step how to do this in my drop workshop, but even if it's for a small group, say, hey, the one-liners that you all are creating, people love to like have those and write them down. And so offer to do it, give them the slides in exchange for their email. People always ask for slides after the training. So that has been a great way. Oh my gosh, the Moth is doing open mic in Boston. Jennifer, I didn't know this. I have to fly out tomorrow, but maybe I'll change my flight. Okay. I would do 1 post per week around your mission statement, minimally. So this is also just a great way for you to just keep flexing the muscle of thinking about how do I talk about what I talk about. So maybe have content buckets with your mission statement. Look at what are the current events, how can you apply them to your mission statement, but do at least 1 post a week. And then another thing that you do that we see in Mic Drop Workshop a lot is engagement pods. So engagement pods are a group of people that, let's just say there's 10 of you on a text or a WhatsApp or a Facebook message, and things that you really want to push out into the network, into the universe, you put it through your engagement pod and everyone likes or comments or shares. This is the power of the sisterhood. This is the power of the Speaker Sister community. People use the Speaker Sister community kind of as an engagement pod too. Like, hey, I'm just launching my podcast. Would love for everyone to listen to it, or getting some celebration around their book. But having a group of people that can help you push out some of the content that you're creating is really helpful. Okay. So, and then remember with all of this, if you sign up by tonight for Mic Drop Workshop, you'll get Platformula for free. So Platformula, if you're like, I really don't love doing all this like platform building and freebies, and how do I create an email and batch content, all those things, we're including it for free. So those of you who have already signed up, you should have already gotten it. The 6th thing that I would do is I would start sharing your one-liner quotes. Who has done this? Put it in the chat. Who has started to share their one-liner quotes? You ask your family chat to do your engagement pod. Your husband's your top fan. My mother-in-law is my top fan on Facebook. So yes, Star, the online team championing. Okay, people have been sharing their one-liners. Let me tell you, whenever you look at your analytics on your social media, your one-liners will be the most shared thing. And so this is such a great way. I almost call them your calling card for speaking. you want people to start associating your name with a solution. So these one-liners give a piece of bite-sized content for people to walk away with. And they can be used in so many other areas. You can put them on your website. You can put them in, print them onto products. You can put them in your book. I just got the arc for my book for next year, and like my one-liners are on pages of their own, because I know with my first book, that was everything people took a picture of were the one-liners. Posted them to death. I love it. Definitely have more than one-liner. The more, the merrier. If any of you are signed up for my hype texts, well, all of you, I guess, hopefully most of you are signed up for my texts now because you're in this boot camp. But on Monday, I send a one-liner out every week. And again, it's a way for me to just continue to workshop content. But it's also people love signing up for it. There's about 10,000 people that have signed up to get a one-liner quote from me every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And so it's so digestible to people. So I would definitely do that. But for your talk, I would have 5 one-liners, one for each of your 5 lessons. So we have like the 5 moment to meanings that we did. And then each of those 5, I would love to have a one-liner. Melissa, if you're not signed up for our texts, you can text me the word hype to 704-228-9495. And I heard this, Lisa, that just this time we've heard that some states are now restricting texting. So we're trying to look into that. Hopefully they'll get that back. And then for those of you who haven't already, if you filled out if you were there for all 5 days, you can fill out this form and you'll get One Line Wonder for free. So you can put in all 5 words and you'll get a one-liner Mad Libs. Okay, who here wants to do a TEDx talk? Who here dreams of being on a TEDx stage? We haven't talked about this a ton. So TED is a great opportunity to launch yourself or grow yourself as a speaker. So why is TED such a good opportunity? One, the credibility. You can have like the TEDx logo on your site. And also, just for the record, TEDx is not paid. My first TED Talk, don't look at it. It was at TEDx University of Akron in like 2014, and it was awful. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to fit a whole keynote into like a 10-minute time slot. But want to know what I will tell you is, even though my first TED Talk didn't go viral, it didn't have any of these fancy things, the fact that I gave a TED Talk helped my speaking career. It helped boost my credibility, my visibility. And now I gave a TED Talk in May that has over 800,000 views. And I'm getting opportunity from it because sometimes event planners will go on the TEDx YouTube and look for speakers through some of their top videos. So TEDx is such a good opportunity to do that. And then we are including our TEDx Bootcamp. So I have everything in this Bootcamp about how to land a TED Talk, how to find events, how to pitch, even how to title your talk so that way they get selected and also people watch them. The reality is that TEDx is amazing, but the talks can be very, what's the right word for this? Clickbaity sounds bad, but it's not what I mean. There has to be like a really strong hook. And so I'll show you exactly how to do that. So you'll get the TEDx Bootcamp for free. Waiting to hear back from TEDx application now. Was sent to the second stage. That's awesome. Love that. First talk was awful because it gives me hope. It is okay to be awful. Embrace the cringe. I wish that I had some of my early stage speaking footage besides this TED Talk. I think I burned it somewhere, but you got to start somewhere. Okay. Already started to watch the TEDx videos already. Great. I love it. And yes, the one-liner freebie is coming in a week, not right away, because we're waiting for everyone to put them in. Okay. And we have a lot of speaker sisters that are landing TED Talks these days, which is awesome. Couldn't have done it without the bootcamp. Love it. Okay, the other thing I would do that we have not talked about yet is search your LinkedIn connections. What this means is go to the search tab on your LinkedIn, and then you would go to your first degree connections and go to people, and then put in meeting planner, event planner, director of learning, education, events. Just start going down this list and see, maybe there are people in your network that you already know, or even put in TEDx. Maybe you'll get a speaker, an event coordinator. See if there are people that you already know that are in your network that can help connect you to some of these events or help book you for some of these events. Sometimes there are people in our network that we don't even know are like booking speakers. The other thing you can do when you're on LinkedIn is put in conference, put in like expo, put in summit, and just see what posts start coming up and say, oh my gosh, Allie was just speaking at like the XYZ expo, or Laura was just speaking at this summit. And maybe there are speakers or people that are in your network that you can see on those posts that you can reach out to and say, hey, I would really love to speak there. Is there any like way that you would be interested in doing an introduction, which we'll talk a little bit more about that. And this is so true. If you don't cringe at your early products, are you really doing this thing? Absolutely. Okay, the ninth thing that I would do if I wanted to start getting speaking gigs is, sorry, I have like hair on my nose, is I would do dry runs of your talk. Doing a dry run of your talk is the same thing as like getting reps, but I know it can feel like, oh, I really don't want to do this. And even if it's into your hairbrush, even if it's to your dog, even if it's to your baby, but just doing a dry run of your talk and getting used to the words coming out of your mouth, getting used to how you stand, hold a water bottle to practice holding a microphone, hold your AirPods to practice holding a clicker. Just start doing dry runs of your talk and team up with other women to do it. So you could team up with other women and do a virtual run of your talk and say, I'm going to send you the footage of my talk, you send me the footage of yours, and let's give each other feedback. Or you could rent out a space and do it together, but finding other women to team up with to do a dry run of your talk is a great, great idea. Adensi, just wanted to give a quick shout out to the speaker sisters who's hopped on a call to give me feedback on my workshop. So very helpful and appreciated. Thank you so much. You will see in the speaker sister group, if you haven't already, that people are more than willing to hop on a Zoom or give feedback or give ideas around a talk. The other thing, oh yes, I did practice my TED talk in a closet before I went on stage. Absolutely. Used to talk to teddy bears on the couch when I started direct sales. Yeah, anyone that's going to listen, for sure. Yes, and that is the Facebook group. Oh, this is a good idea, using voice memo on your phone and listen to it as you're in the car. That's a great idea, Star. So when you're teaming up with other women, some other stuff that I would do, talking about the engagement pods, like engage with each other on social media, share your stuff. If you post that you're speaking somewhere, have your speaker sister share it and vice versa. But here's the kicker, is find people that you can team up with for referral trades. This is like some of the bread and butter of the speaker sister community, is referral trades. So hold on one second, I'm really thirsty. So let's say Laura is speaking somewhere and she gets done speaking and they're like, Laura, you are amazing. And she's like, I know, but you can't book me next year because I've already spoken here. But you know who you should book is Star. Star is such an amazing speaker and you should book her to speak. And they're like, great, can you introduce us to Star? Then Laura introduces the event to Star. The event books Star. Star gives Laura a 15% cut of that event as a finder's fee. Or you can just do it. There's people who do it that way. And then there's people who just do it based on introductions, like without any payment. Like I send you an introduction and then you send me an introduction. And so finding women to team up with who are similar fee but different topic is a great way to start getting referrals, get your name out there, and because you rarely get booked twice with speaking because they need to find new people. So this is such a great way to do that. And honestly, like the heart of the Speaker Sister community. Okay. The last thing is this one's a little bit more mental than it is put speaker in your profile. I would get real honest with myself about what's holding me back. And I don't mean like about, just joining Mic Drop or something like that. I mean, what is it, if anything, that is still telling you that this isn't for you? Get real honest with yourself about what is holding you back. I found some posts in the Bootcamp group that I want to share. But if there is something that's holding you back, go ahead and you can put it in the chat and let's talk about it. So, Jess asked, am I qualified enough? That's what's holding me back. And what I would say to that is speaking isn't about being perfect. It isn't about even being qualified. It's about being 10% ahead on something. So whatever your mission statement is, whatever it is that you want to speak on, you are more likely 10% ahead on that topic than the rest of the people in a room. And that's all you have to be. And the more that you speak and the more that you dive into this topic, the better you're going to be. But be passionate enough about something to be 10% ahead on it than the rest of the people that might be standing in a room. And then it's your job as a speaker to keep exploring it. And so it's not about being qualified. What are you 10% ahead on? Wondering if my solution is as valuable for others as I believe it is. Tiffany asked this. Most of the time, we teach from a place called our duh zone, where it's like, this is so elementary to us. Like, of course someone's going to do this. Of course someone's going to do that. Your duh zone might be mundane to you, but it is absolute gold to someone else. And so it's okay for your solution to feel simple to you because it's going to feel really good to someone else. Gigi, I'm afraid that there isn't an audience out there for me. Gigi, why don't you just tell me what you speak on? And I would love to tell you that. Let's see. Duh zone for sure. Remembering my past failures. And guess what, Amy? You are still standing and you're still here. And I'm going to go a step further and say that our best lessons come from our worst moments. So most of what resonates with people when I speak isn't the wins, it's the mistakes. And so what is it about how you overcome those failures that you can teach other people? And so the fact that you're thinking about your failures is actually probably a great creative opportunity to think about what made me get through them and how can I make that a teachable and repeatable process. Let's see, the stress of juggling speaking with a full-time job. Yep, absolutely. And if this isn't like right timing for your life or your season, I get it. But we have a ton of speakers that are full-time in a job and speak on the side. And the great part about speaking is that it is can be as much or as little as you want it to be. And it can be you're in and you're out at an event. It's not like you're on retainer or on a contract for 12 months out of the year. So we have a lot of speakers that do both, that have their full-time job and speak on the side. The sales calls, I totally get it. That used to be the thing that would hold me back as well. We have exact scripts. We have every single thing that you need to land a sales call. But the big thing that I would tell you is don't call it a sales call. Call it a partnership call. Are we the right partners for this? Are they the right people for me? And am I the right people for them? I'm not selling them myself. I'm finding out what they need and seeing if what I offer is a good fit. So it kind of takes the ego and the sales out of the equation and instead focuses it on a partnership. Okay, I want to get to more of these, but let me get to some of them that I put in here. Let's see. Who do I think I am? Has anyone felt this? I feel this all the time. And there are people out there. Okay, let me say this. The people that are out there charging 5 figures to speak aren't any more worthy than you. They just decided to go for it. So much of this isn't about worthiness. It's about decision to go for it. All of you are worthy of a paid speaking spot. Every single one of you is worthy of a paid speaking spot. So it's not about worthiness and qualifications. It's about decision. And is this something that you want enough to risk the fear of being cringe, to risk the fear of being seen? That's the question that you should be asking yourself, not who do I think I am? Someone said that my ADHD will get the best of me and I won't get past the first talk. Or I won't remember what I'm supposed to say. I don't know if any of you have that fear of like getting up there and forgetting. I know I did. I walk through how to memorize your talk and what we call memory triggers. And then if you're worried about accountability and your ADHD of like finishing the course, the first thing that I want you to do when you step inside the Speaker Sister group, if you join the course, is ask for an accountability buddy. Ask for an accountability buddy from Bootcamp. There are so many women in there already who are introducing themselves. Maybe some of you are here. And ask for an accountability buddy and say, hey, every 2 weeks, we're going to have a check-in call and see where we're at. And then remember, you have Mike, our AI speaking assistant, that knows everything that's in the course that you can ask questions to along the way. Someone said, why would they hire me? No one knows me. Like, I'm not notable. I don't know if any of you have felt this, but what I will tell you is your impact weighs more than your follower count. So what matters is your perspective and your message. That's what they're paying for. They're not paying for your platform. And the people who are notable are charging over $50,000 per gig. Like Mel Robbins is like $150,000 per talk. Not everyone can afford a $150,000 speaker. You know what they can afford? A $5,000 speaker, a $15,000 speaker, a $20,000 speaker. I like to say I'm like the Kirkland brand Sarah Blakely. Like, not everyone can afford Sarah Blakely for $200,000, but they can afford Jess Ekstrom for $30,000. You bet your bottom dollar. So don't try to compare this to being notable. Someone said, keeping up with technology and using creativity. I have a message and I know it's unique. It's the packaging that's hard for me. I understand that. And I know that the tech can be hard. That's why I try to keep it really simple and break it down for you in the course and help you with all of the packaging that you need. Sarah Blakely is the founder of Spanx. I am a very top customer of Spanx. Will they try to talk me down to a reduced rate? Is that a fear of anyone's, of like having to negotiate if they say that they can't pay your fee? I'm going to tell you something right now. This will happen. And if it doesn't, you're pricing yourself too low. Remember that I had this negotiation expert on my podcast, Kwame Christian, and he said negotiation is just a conversation to reach a desired outcome. That's it. Negotiation isn't conflict. It's a conversation to make to meet at a desired outcome. Okay, let me hit a couple other of these. Catherine. Catherine is a Mic Drop and Mic Drop Academy alumni and is like, it is now a part of your being. I feel like, Catherine, that is so good. Let's see. Have you ever had an event not fulfill on a contract? If so, what'd you do? Just from the pandemic, but other than that, like our downloadable contracts are like ironclad tight. So, and you have to get that deposit up front. We teach you to get that 50% deposit. Okay, I'm going to hit more stuff in the chat, but I also just wanted to show you in the past 24 hours, we went into the Speaker Sister group, the group where Mic Drop Workshop students live. And this is what has happened in the past 24 hours. Michelle got asked to speak in Dubai. Stacy delivered her TEDx talk. Archana did her first corporate talk. Kate got booked in Philly for a workshop. Jackie posted about her comedy and a Speaker Sister asked to have her on her show. Allie, I don't know if you're here tonight, introduced herself from Bootcamp, asked for virtual coffees. Look at all the women in here looking to get coffee with Allie. I love it. And then Robin said this: I went through Jess's Bootcamp again, and she reminded me that Mic Drop Workshop is an investment, and just 1 or 2 paid gigs will recoup the costs. She is so right. I've already recouped my cost, and I have a TEDx talk scheduled. Put yourself out there, even if you're not totally ready. And also tell me what you think about my headshot. I spent way too much time. Am I overthinking it? I think your headshot is gorgeous, Catherine. So all of this happened in the past 24 hours. This is the magic that is happening inside Mic Drop Workshop. I'm pretty proud of the course and what I've created, but I'm more proud of the results and the community that it is created. Yes, this is, it's incredible. Okay, let me look at a couple more of these. My fear is that I book an amazing gig and then I get sick right before because I have health issues. That's my biggest fear. Actually, I have had this happen before. But I was pregnant and I went into labor early because I stupidly thought I could do a gig like within 2 weeks of my due date. And I had a backup person. So I have a backup, Lindsay Picardo, who, if any of you are in Mic Drop Club, you know her. If I ever get stuck in a pickle or like a flight cancels or I'm sick, she's my backup. And that's, again, what the Speaker Sister community is for, is having that backup. Okay. I'm a good storyteller and speaker. I'm concerned my talk, which is a personal story, is not backed enough with data and research. So you might have heard me say this before, Tammy, but I'll say it again. The story can be personal as long as the takeaway is professional. And so your storytelling and speaking carries way more weight than any like encyclopedia that someone can read up there. Anyone can look for answers and research and stats on Google or ChatGPT. Not everyone has a story like yours and can deliver it. What I will say, Tammy, is once you have your personal story and what the takeaway is, I would put it into Claude or ChatGPT or some sort of AI and ask for research or like 1 to 2 stats or case studies that can help punch up your talk, and use that. It should take under 10 minutes to do. I'm glad that you listened to that negotiation episode. Okay. Yeah. Do we have to have any research or data in our talk? I would have at least like 1 to 2 stats, because that way it is not just about your point of view. It's backed by something. And the reason why I say this is because I like to teach something in Mic Drop that we call Speak to the Critic. And I'm not saying that you're going to have a critic or a skeptic in your talk, but just imagine that you did. What would make him, this sounds unprofessional, but what would make him shut up if you were like, well, research says this? So speak to the critic by giving some of that data. I usually like to do that in my introduction or earlier on. Okay, so some questions about Mic Drop that were in the Facebook group. How long is the course and is it live? It is not live, so you can take it on your own time. Whatever you, however much you want to bite off and chew. I saw someone in the boot camp said that she did it, watched every video in 24 hours and is now going back through and actually like doing the work, which I thought that was really funny. How long do I have access? Can I join later? You have lifetime access, which I've been told by other course creators is really dumb, but that's what we're doing. You have lifetime access and you can join later, but all of the perks, the TEDx, the $100 off, Platformula, e-speakers, all of those won't be included. What if I do the work and it doesn't work for me? That is why we have the get booked guarantee. If in a year you do the work, it doesn't work for you, we will refund you for sure. Do we get access to you during this? First Friday of every month, you will have a live with me. So if there are questions, you can put it in the first Friday of every month in our live. So all of this expires tonight. So many of you have already joined, which we're super excited about. But if there's anything I can help with, you can put, I'm on the fence because blank, and maybe it's a fit for you, maybe it's not, totally fine either way. But if there's something I can help with now, either about joining the course or becoming a speaker in general, feel free to put that in the chat. I enrolled in the workshop. Can I still get the TEDx and journal you talked about? Yeah, absolutely. TEDx for sure you can get. Journal was by Thursday last week. Okay, joined, already digging in. I'm a person who stutters. It's always been my fear to do public speaking, but I am finding my voice as I get older. Stacy, this is awesome. And I am so glad you're here. And I'm so glad that you shared this with me. I think that this could also even be a part of your story. Maybe it is something that you share on stage. We have had plenty of people go through this program who have something similar, something with their vocals or something that maybe they haven't wanted to put front and center their life, and it's become a really impactful part of their story. So just an idea for you that maybe your history there could be something that someone could learn from. Let's see. I'm on the fence because I'm already overwhelmed and need to work through this first. Yep, I understand. I will also say there has never been a time in my life where I feel like, you know what? Like everything has settled. So the only thing I would tell you is make decisions for tomorrow you, not today you, or tomorrow or a year from now you, not today you. Because if this is something that you actually want, a year from now, you're going to wish you started today. Point blank. TEDx is not available separately, only through Mic Drop. Self-paced program. And Kelsey, you can let me know if there's something I missed either on Slack or in the chat here. Let's see. Oh, this is awesome, Laura. I enrolled in Mic Drop Workshop earlier this year, just getting back to it as I got a coaching certification first. I've done 2 gigs already, looking for some ladies to connect with. Freaking amazing. Let's see. Yeah, have a backup speaker. I have spoken professionally and made 10K each time pre-COVID. Jackie, absolutely. The price of this workshop is easily recoupable when you get gigs. That is amazing. Thank you for sharing that, Jackie, and that is awesome. Uh, do you share gigs? That was a question in the chat. We do share speaking opportunities. So you'll see in the Facebook group, we'll share speaking opportunities in there. We get asked a lot, like, hey, do you have a speaker on this? And then also a lot of speaker sisters share opportunities in the Facebook group. And then remember, when you pay in full, you get the exclusive gig newsletter where we share speaking opportunities to your inbox once a month. And then you have e-speakers as well. Okay. I wish I knew earlier in my career. I've been speaking for free. Can't wait to start getting paid. And Anna, it is okay. Got to start somewhere. There's so many things that I wish that I did earlier that I'm like, well, lesson learned. I'm now doing it today. Oh, someone was at Stacy's TEDx taping. That is awesome. Fire it up now. Let's see. I'm eager to get accepted to the Speaker Sister group. Awesome. What else? Okay. How will I manage my time as I transition from my time-intensive job to speaking and coaching? Can't have an income gap. A lot of people depend on me. Absolutely. And in no way do I suggest just like cold turkey going into this full time. What I would do is keep your job and then on the side, start doing some of the things that we talked about in this boot camp, building your platform, reaching out to some events. And then once you have enough consistent contracts that you feel like you can make that leap, then you can do it. A lot of speakers who have made that leap was like, when you know, when you're so overwhelmed by how much speaking is coming in that it's like hard to navigate your day job, then it's time to switch. But in no way do you have to like make that jump now. Let's see. Kelsey, let me know. Thank you, Laura. If there's anything, Tara, I'll tell you, the day one word was pass. Let's see. How often do you open the doors to Mic Drop Workshop? It's open, but again, with the bootcamp perks that we're talking about now, Platformula, TEDx, $100 off, e-speakers, those only happen during boot camps, which those are kind of sporadic throughout the year. We only do a couple a year. Let's see. Someone said I'm on the fence because I'm a mental disorder healer. No one does this. That is, again, probably part of your superpower. So what is it about what you do that could be helpful for someone else? We've had someone who was like a thriller author in Mic Drop and like used what makes a great thriller as her topic. And so sometimes the things that we're like worried how they fit are actually the things that make us great. Okay, I think that is probably enough. And for those of you who are in Mic Drop Workshop, I will see you on the other side. For those of you who aren't, I'm so glad that I got the opportunity to spend this time with you. I hope no matter what, you pursue speaking or you pursue thought leadership in some capacity. I want to walk into a Barnes and Noble where I am just surrounded by forward-facing covers of women authors. I want to open a conference pamphlet and find a lineup of amazing women speakers. And so whether you join us or not, just be a part of this movement to see women in thought leadership. Let's create the future that we want to live in. But thank you all. I know this was investment of time and investment of money. I don't take it lightly. My team doesn't take it lightly. We really appreciate it. Keep in touch. Have a great night. Bye, everyone. Thank you.